Welcome students. Let us learn about the next life process, which is respiration. After eating the food and getting it absorbed by the villi of the small intestine, the glucose molecule is still a large molecule that needs to be broken down to gain the energy. The energy is released in the form of ATP. ATP is said to be the currency of energy in human beings. It is adenosine triphosphate. Generally, breaking down of food requires oxygen. How do we get this oxygen? Certainly, we all know that with the help of lungs, we all breathe. The intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide in and out of the body respectively is called breathing. Do the process of breathing and respiration is the same? Let us find out. No. Breathing is a process of exchange of gases. But respiration is a chemical process of breaking down of food with the help of oxygen to release the energy. Breathing is done by the pair of lungs and diaphragm. But respiration is done by each and every living cell in our body. Breathing doesn't involve any chemical breakdown of food, thus it's a physical process. But respiration is the process of chemical breakdown of food, thus it is a chemical process. So now we know that breathing and respiration are not the same, but we can say breathing is a part of respiration because we need oxygen for the process of respiration. Let us visualize what we learnt yet. We all know that we need food to survive. But in the food, the energy is locked. This energy is unlocked by the action of oxygen. This complex food needs to be broken down to release the energy. Respiration is the process in which the food is broken down in the cells with the help of oxygen to release the energy. Then what is breathing? Breathing is a physical process which involves the exchange of gases. It involves lungs and diaphragm. The inhalation and exhalation is known as breathing. But respiration, on the other hand, is deriving energy from food molecules using oxygen. Breathing is a part of respiration? Yes, definitely. Because breathing only provides the oxygen we need for respiration. Let us know about types of respiration. First type is aerobic respiration. Second is anaerobic respiration. Aerobic respiration means with oxygen. Anaerobic means the respiration done without the oxygen. The breaking down of food in the presence of oxygen is called aerobic respiration. First step, when we break the glucose into simpler molecule that is known as pyruvate. The glucose is a 6 carbon molecule and it converts into pyruvate, that is a 3 carbon molecule in the cytoplasm. First step happens in the cytoplasm, in the cell. Next step happens in the mitochondria, where pyruvate is then broken down to CO2 and water and the energy is released in the form of ATP. Let us visualize the same. We learned there are two types of respiration, aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic happens in presence of oxygen. Anaerobic respiration happens in absence of oxygen. Respiration happens at the cellular level. The cell breaks down the complex glucose in the presence of oxygen into carbon dioxide, water and energy. Energy in the form of ATP. Now, let's know about anaerobic respiration. The breakdown of food without the oxygen is known as anaerobic respiration. First step again happens in cytoplasm where 2-pyruvate produced. Second step is breakdown of pyruvic acid into ethanol and water and energy. Anaerobic respiration happens at the time of adversity where oxygen is not available. It generally happens in yeast or in our muscle cells when we do some heavy exercise or run. Let us see about fermentation or anaerobic respiration in the plants or yeast. Sometime when we overwater the plants, the exchange of oxygen is blocked. That time anaerobic respiration takes place. Glucose is broken down into ethanol and carbon dioxide and energy is released. Ethanol is an alcohol. We all know that the alcohol we see, it is being made through the process of fermentation where the sugar, the glucose, is converted into alcohol in the condition of anaerobic respiration. This process is known as fermentation. Fermentation process is used to make wine, beer or other alcoholic materials. Fermentation is also seen in yeast powder. Sometimes anaerobic respiration takes place in highly developed animals as well, like humans. When suddenly we do any heavy exercise or running, we feel a lot of pain in our muscles. That happens because of the anaerobic respiration taking place in the muscle cells. Let us know how. While exercising or heavy running, the muscle cells need more energy, but the lungs and heart both cannot pump that much energy to the muscle cells in the short span of time. So the muscle starts respiring anaerobically and it produces a harmful chemical for us, that is lactic acid. Accumulation of lactic acid gives us the pain or the sprain in the muscle cells. This lactic acid later, after relaxing, slowly reacts with oxygen and produces carbon dioxide and we get rid of our pain. Here is the short summary what we learned today. Thank you.